Hey, it's Laura. So today we're going to look at some yoga stretches and some meditation that we can do if we're having some issues at our neck these days with all the stress that's on us and the life changing that's taking place. We probably do have some tension, stiffness, all kinds of things going on at our neck. So let's just bring awareness to that area of our body today and kind of see what we got going on. We're going to do this one completely seated. So if you've got a chair that you can sit up nice and tall on, a couch or the edge of the bed, just make sure that you're sitting up tall. We want to have our whole spine aligned, shoulders relaxed down, and our ears to start with over top of our shoulders. So find a comfortable seat, and once we're there, we'll just begin with our eyes closed. And if we are dealing with some stress right now, let's just start with a few deep breaths in and out through our nose. And we want to drive our breath into our belly. So our belly breathing is the most relaxing breath known to the human body. And we're actually going to stick with this breathing technique for this whole time. And let's just add some movement to our breath, letting our chin float up with our inhales and come down toward our chest with our exhales. So our neck serves as the bridge between our thoughts and feelings, between our body and our mind. So let's let our chin come forward onto our chest, and we're just going to slowly let it roll from one shoulder to the other, noticing what we're feeling. Probably feeling a little bit up in our shoulders here too, but just noticing what we're feeling in our neck particularly. Let's go ahead and bring it up, and we're just going to turn easy side to side. Again, checking in with how our neck is feeling. And coming back to the center. And let's go ahead and we're going to get a little in touch with some of our feelings. So let's close our eyes for a moment, breathing into our belly. And let's go ahead and lift our heart a little bit here too. And just noticing what we're feeling. Do we need to listen to our feelings? Maybe we need to speak to our heart. Let's go ahead and take our hands interlaced behind our head, and we're just going to press our head back into our hands and just do a little easy press of our hands into our head. And again, reflect on, are we holding any feelings back? Let's release, keeping our hands just gently, not pulling, just letting our head come forward. And let's bring it up. And this time we're going to press our head forward into the heel of our palms while we push our hands into our head. Feel a little bit of tension kind of right back behind the jaw. Reflecting on, are our feelings hard to express? Now let's just take our hands lightly behind our head, let our head roll back with support of our hands. And let's bring it back to the center. Relaxing our shoulders down. This time we want to push one hand into the floor or onto the chair, or just press it toward the floor if you don't want to stick it on the chair. And we're going to drop our head to the other side. And just noticing that length for between the ear and the shoulder. We can use one or two fingers here to give a little extra oomph. And we're going to get some different fibers of the neck by turning our chin down toward the floor. and maybe even up toward the ceiling. We can even move our jaw a little bit here. Let's bring everything back to the center and up. Let's take it to the other side, pressing the one hand down or into our seat, dropping our ear, keeping both shoulders down. And again, 1 or 2 fingers, just helping it out a little bit. It doesn't take much. Turning our chin toward the floor. And maybe up toward the ceiling. And back to the center. And let's bring it up. Let's just do a little roll of our shoulders. And backward. Now let's relax our hands down, maybe in our lap, toward the floor. And let's just turn our head over one shoulder. And we're going to nod our head here. Noticing what we're feeling. In times of stress, we might feel tension headaches. Let's hold here. Let's take it to the other side. And again, just take it to that nod. And shake it out. All right, we're going to take it back over to that first side. I'll show you a neat little trick here. And just kind of notice where the chin lines up, what you can see in your peripheral vision. And we're going to come back to the center and we're going to rub that ear. Something about rubbing the ear helps relax the muscles of the neck. Let's take a look over again and see if our chin got a little further than it did, if we're seeing something different in our peripheral vision. Let's come back to the center and check the other side. So again, kind of just take it over, see where the chin lines up, come back to the center, let's rub that ear. And again, checking out. I think I get a little bit further. And bring it back to the center. Let's go back to that belly breath and just notice how our neck is feeling now that we've done a little bit of work on it. And these times of staying in, hopefully we're able to get out, into the yard and do something. But the tension and stress that we might be feeling in our neck could be the result of spending too much time thinking or not enough time thinking. So let's just ask ourselves for a moment, do I need to think more and move less? Or do I need to move more and think less? Tension headaches can come from thinking too much. So let's see if we can find that balance over the next week between our thoughts and our feelings. Spending time thinking and contemplating, trying not to worry so much. And when we find ourselves worrying, that's when we know we might need to get up and move a little more. And for those of us who get antsy when we're stuck inside, we may be moving a bit too much, we may need to find that balance by stopping and just thinking for a little bit. But let's try to find some positive thoughts in all of this. Let's take a few more breaths deep into our belly, relaxing our shoulders down. And let's completely exhale. And on our inhale, let's gather in all the energy around us, drawing it into our hearts. And just sharing all those wonderful, loving thoughts with one another. Namaste.